Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Maker's Creek Outdoors. Uh, it has been flooding for the past 2 days here. We tried our best yesterday to get some video out on the water, doing some fishing. It's Memorial Day weekend, and it is going to be a washout all the way through. So, what do you do when you can't go fishing? Well, if you're me, you're always thinking about fishing. So why not tie some jigs? So I got into jig tying, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago, and you can actually get a jig tying kit from Cabela's. You can order it online. You can get them on Amazon. You will need some marabou feathers. You can also get neck hackle, which I like to use the neck hackle. You can get it in just about any color you want, and you can also get that on Amazon or at Bass Pro Shop in the fly tying section. You'll need some chenille, multiple colors, different types. That's the beauty of this is you can play around with it and come up with just whatever your imagination desires. Uh, you can get the kit, which will have the vise, bobbin with your thread. Uh, Also online or at Bass Pro Shop. They sell a kit and they range anywhere from $50 up to probably the sky's the limit. I'd say a good setup's probably in the $200 range. Uh, so without further ado, let's tie one. Okay, so we've got our vise here. First thing you want to do is put you a blank jig head hook in the vise, which these you can also, these were actually ordered off of Amazon. And the first thing you want to do is lay down a roll of thread. And I like to take it down to the tip of the hook. And I will make several wraps. So you got a good base to start with. At that point, you can leave your thread hanging. Take your scissors, nip off that excess. And then what I like to do is take a hackle feather, and I've already cut one. If you look and see how that looks there with that V in it, I've already made a cut and taken this tip off of it. I'm going to lay that right there. Now I've got some black, and what you want to do is pull that to about right there, give it a cut, and where we made that cut, you can see that V in it. I'm going to make another cut right there. And then what you want to do is take that tip that we cut off and take your two end pieces, and you want to sandwich them together. And I like to put the piece that had the tip on it in the center, and then the black you can put, kind of sandwich that chartreuse in the middle, and you'll come out with something that looks like so. I like to give it a little bit of a twist down on the end, kind of flare it out a little bit. And then you're going to place that on top of the hook shank like so. And you want to wrap that in. It's centered up. And just give it a wrap in back to the jig head. Like so. Now what we'll do now is we are going to take some yellow chenille. This one's on a roll. This came from Amazon. And just cut you off about, I don't know, 8 inches or so of it. Because this particular one's kind of thin, as you can see. And what you're going to want to do with it is lay it on top of the hook shank behind the jig head. And start laying a wrap on it as well. And you're going to want to take it down to the hook tip. Run it back to the front. Now what you're going to want to do is start wrapping this chenille around the shank of the hook. And I'm going to double wrap it just to help that body thicken up a little bit. And they make a vise that actually rotates, which makes this a whole lot easier. I just have not made that purchase yet. All right, so you're going to want to hold that, give it a couple of wraps, and then bring it back towards the front of the jig head and come behind it with a few wraps. And then back in front of it again. And go ahead and give it some wraps. Now at this point you can cut the chenille off. Now I like to keep a little bit of water in a little pan here on the table, because I like to dip my finger in it and get ready to wet this thread. You're going to put what I call a doctor's hitch in this. So you're going to make 2 to 3 twists, come over the jig head and cinch that down. Don't pull too hard. No need breaking the thread off at this point. And I like to give it 3 of these. And I've never had one come loose, the thread. But I'm going to show you something else you can do just to make sure. At this point, you can cut your line off. And at this point, you have a jig. And if you want to see the profile of it, you can dip it in the water, just so you get an idea of what it's going to look like in the water. Now what you can do is I take a end of a Q-tip or end of a toothpick, and I would daub this in a little bit of super glue and you can come in and put a little around that wrap on that line if you're worried about the knot. But there you go, just a basic jig tying on a rainy day. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, everybody, and do us a favor. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified as we drop more videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time on Meekers Creek Outdoors, safe travels and tight lines.